generation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
We're losing our democracy!
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Wake up!
Before we get into that, let's get into this. A bit of a throwback there. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Friday. And as we do just about every Friday here, we come together, we talk about the news, politics, latest that's going down in the world, in the fall of Western civilization, and the new splitting of the multipolar sphere of the world as we know it. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Liberty Swine. How you doing this week, sir?
Doing damn fine, man. How about yourself, bro?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Just getting a little fatigued from all that winning and shit. all that putting.
It's too much winning.
Right?
Can't take it anymore.
Exactly, man. So yeah, man, a whole lot going on this week. Of course, we got the big news of today, which we'll be starting with, is of course Donald Trump and JD Vance basically going ahead and putting Zelensky in his place over there in the Oval Office. Of course, Zelensky did come down to speak with the Trump administration today about the happenings over there in the latest developments of the Ukraine-Russia war. And basically, Donald Trump and JD Vance said everything that we would hope that they would say. They again, too much winning. Of course, we'll have the video for that coming up in just a minute. We also have the Epstein files. The Epstein files, you guys, you've been waiting so long, man. Well, they just dropped phase 1. Yeah. phase 1. You know what that means. It's going to be the same fucking slow roll bullshit that they did. Same thing. It's the same thing. Remember when we were all excited, like, oh, dude, they fucking released all of the fucking January 6th footage, bro. We're going to get to go through all of the January 6th footage and see everything. And we get like a 5-minute fucking roll of B film from the Tucker Carlson show. That's about it. That's all that we got. That's all of it. And it's looking similar here. I mean, even some of the files were redacted even further from what we already even have. Like, shit that was already, public knowledge that was already been, out in the public from before is now redacted. And they're giving that out like it's some fucking brand new news. So this one, of course, is multifaceted. We'll be talking about that one here in a little bit as well, too. Deputy Director, the FBI. That was what we started out with this week. Dan Bongino. Oh yeah, that's going to be making some waves. We'll be talking about old Danny Bots here in a little bit. ATF director is currently Kash Patel, because fuck the ATF. We don't need an extra ATF director. They should be fucking running under the judicial branch of the FBI, and the FBI should be dismantled, scattered to the winds. But either way, Kash Patel is the head of the ATF. We also have the Donald Trump purges the military of trannies. And of course, the left has a meltdown over that. We've also got gold cards. All right, you've heard of the green card. Get ready to hear about the gold card. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit. Apparently, Donald Trump is offering essentially immigration to people with $5 million. You pay $5 million, you're a United States citizen. Come on in. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit as well. Tulsi Gabbard fires over 150 weirdos, as I put them, from the National Security Agency that were involved in a strange group chat. I'll be honest, I haven't read any of the stuff from the group chat, but from what I hear, it's pretty horrendous stuff. Some pretty disgusting, horrible, sexual, fetish, weird chat. Definitely not safe for work. Definitely not the things that you want to hear that are going on up at the highest levels of intelligence within our government. Definitely not the types of things that you want to see going on. But either way, they're all fired. we also got Elon Musk sending out a peculiar email to the federal staff or federal workers. Basically, what'd you do this week? So what would you say that you do here in essence, right? They could have just put that as the cover letter, just the meme, the meme of the Office Space. What would you say that you do here? See, we also got Joy Reid got fired. Her show got canceled on MSNBC. MSNBC pretty much sorry. Of course, liberal media is having a meltdown over it because, of course, the only possible explanation as to why Joy Reid could be fired is racism, right? And that's the only possible explanation to this. I cannot think of anything within the realm of quantum reality that could lead to Joy Reid getting fired beyond racism. So that must be the reason we'll be talking about that as well. And the left are planning to get violent, guys. So watch your backs. It's going to get crazy out there. We'll be talking about that because, of course, we've been riding this high for a little bit, since Donald Trump got inaugurated. Things have been looking up, so much winning. But of course, as we've talked about previously, we said what was going to happen after the election, right? After Donald Trump ends up winning, starts implementing some of these policies, the radical left, being the unhinged psychopaths that they are going to get violent. And it's looking like that's going to be the case. But of course, your thoughts on Zelensky, man. I'll go ahead and let you introduce that before I take us to the video.
Just hilarious, man. From the entrance when Trump's standing out waiting for him, and he rolls up and he gets out in his little fake military gear, and he's like, "Oh, look, he's dressed up today." You know what I'm saying? Fucking hilarious. And then, he thought he was going to roll in and try to steamroll, in front of the American media like he could have, and obviously wouldn't have had much pushback from the previous administration, and thought he was going to do his thing, but immediately got shut down. And when we're watching the video, you can see it's like a switch on Trump. It's like, you went too far,
Right.
buddy. He just unleashes the fury, man. Pretty good.
Unleash the fury, Mitch. But yeah, he definitely he filleted him. Of course, dude, it really was almost like a textbook display of the hierarchy of power, though, right? I mean, of course, JD Vance came in and started like, whoa, and then Donald Trump sees what he's doing, and okay, all right, cool, can't let you take the thunder. Basically, everybody shut up. Donald Trump's talking now, and he basically just like, okay, I see the vibe, and then boom, all right, cool, we're fucking this guy up right now. Okay, cool, and then Donald Trump goes ahead and takes the lead immediately, and just basically shows the display of hierarchy. And of course, that is something that was well predicted by a lot of conservative pundits during the election season when we were trying to figure out who Donald Trump's vice president was going to be. It was going to be that it was somebody that's not going to steal Donald Trump's spotlight. Right, Donald Trump wants to be the head honcho. He wants to be the guy, right? And JD Vance has been doing great, man. JD Vance,
he's been killing it, man.
Right. Even in that aspect, like he knows when to back away. He knows when to let Donald Trump, take it. He knows his position and he plays it well.
Yeah, and I think that this set off a chain of events that Zelensky wasn't ready for. He surely wasn't ready for that reception. And then as the thing winds down, then of course the best part is you hear this the Don kicked him the fuck out of the White House. Like, bro, you got to go, son. Get in your little ride and take off, dog.
You ain't got to go back to Ukraine, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, and of course, this is also cuts off deals as far as helping to rebuild their energy infrastructure and whatnot. Rubio's already said, disrespect in the Oval Office, can't have it. And you even have, the ever mushy fucking Lindsey Graham coming out saying this dude needs to publicly apologize or resign.
Right. Yep. Let's go ahead and check out the video, of course, that everybody's talking about. This took place a little bit earlier today. Of course, this is taking place in the Oval Office. There's, of course, Zelensky there on the left, Trump in the middle, and Vance on the right. And let's go ahead and check out this exchange.
We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel
I'm-
very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have
in-
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What you-
III.
what you
You're
thinking about?
gambling with
What you
World
thinking
War
about?
III. And
We-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
It's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
What-
the United
what
States
you're
of
speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment.
You
And you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about president?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
Okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course,
It's
yes.
going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there- except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going
I
on.
understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this story so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
Then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it. So the bullets stop flying and your men stop killing.
Fucking epic. Absolutely.
Don't I get your little ass
Absolutely
up on out of here.
Right, man. Dude, could you imagine the energy in that room? Like, could you imagine just, being one of those reporters and shit? You know what I mean? Like, that's like being a fucking kid in the room watching your parents fucking go at it or something like that. Like that's like, you're just,
Cut the tension with a knife, man. And
Right,
it's crazy
dude.
that leftists are out here celebrating, like, fucking Zelensky got Adams. Like, what do you
Right.
mean, dude? He looked like a complete fucking douche. You know what I'm saying?
right. Fucking absolute fucking loser, dude.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Yeah,
Right.
and dude, even that whole fucking idea of Zelensky's got him. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, dude, you like Trump or not, man? That's the United States president. You know what I mean? And they're spending your grandchildren's future to fucking help that little cross-dressing troll. You know what I mean? And that's what you're gonna get is trying to speak over the president and disrespect, man. And they're telling him, like, dude, you need to shut up and listen and fucking act with some gratitude, and you'll get a different fucking situation. And he just keeps trying to talk, and you know what I mean? It's like, dude, just don't. I get.
Right. So you do realize that you're a fucking pawn, right? You're over here trying to talk to the fucking king. Like it's not how this works, man. That's not how this works at all. And the truth is, um, obviously, I'm seeing some lefties on X talking about like, oh well, Donald Trump's just gonna basically just dictating to him like, oh well, we're gonna make a deal where you're gonna lose part of your country and you don't get to sit at the table for that deal and shit like that. And, well, you could always take, and then we're also going to take your mineral rights to your land and stuff like that. We're going to take the minerals away from you. And it's like, well, there's also option B where we could tell you to go fuck off, and then you could go fight Russia by yourself, and then you pretty much die and lose everything. There's that option as well too. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, this picture right here really just sums up everything. I mean, this is going to be the picture that you guys are going to see going around over the next, couple of days, definitely over the weekend. But this picture right here sums it up. And of course, this comment down here, Z looks like a child talking to his parents about wrecking their car in this picture. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like, man. The memes on this shit are fucking great, and of course the lefties, they're they're having two different types of meltdowns right now. They're having the oh, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened for diplomacy in the world right now. There's also the sect of this proves it. He's a Russian stooge. He's in Putin's pocket, man. Like, this proves it. And then there's also the sect that you were talking about. Zelensky held his ground so good, man. Fucking Slava Ukraine hell lays off. Like, so there's really the different sects going on in the left right now. But this was from, it doesn't matter which angle you're looking at this from. This was just a brutal just filleting by Donald Trump and JD Vance, and it's really just like what we've all been wanting to what we all have been saying for the past going on 4 years now of this war. It's like we said, you don't have a chance. You didn't have a chance from the very fucking beginning. Let me put it in simple Kamala Harris terms. You are a small country. Russia is a big country, right? Without the United States over here, another big country, one of those big ones, not the small one, we're a big one, okay? You could not defend yourself against big country, okay? That's how this works. So yeah, you don't get to tell us what the fuck we're gonna do and how we're gonna spend our money. And you need to pay me more money and shit like that. We need more guarantees. Like, fuck your guarantees. Like, guarantee you fucking you could keep going the route that you're going and you're gonna fucking lose. You're gonna lose everything, right? That's the guarantee that you get from this meeting here at the Oval Office. That's about it.
Yeah, and like Trump said, without us, without our weapons, it would have been over in 2 weeks. And he started, oh, I know, Putin, whoop-de-woo, you know what I'm saying?
3 days, bro.
Right. And it's like, dude, who the fuck do you think you are, and what do you think's happening right now? Like, legitimately, the only reason they haven't wiped you off the map is because of your association with America, dude. It surely isn't the EU. Their military's a bunch of fucking homos, and you know what I mean, and underfunded at that. They were not spending anywhere near the level because of, again, their association with us. They don't have to. They're kept safe as well because of the threat of American weapons, man. You know what I mean? Like, Germany is basically occupied territory. That's a fucking American vassal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can try to look down their noses and yap all they want about, criticisms on free speech. But in reality, all we got to do is just pull away and everybody's fucked.
Right. Look what's going on with the World Health Organization right now. They're in dire straits because we fucking pulled out of that bitch because we told them we're not going to fund you guys no more. And then
Yeah,
now
they're
they're
already
falling
threatening
apart.
for mass layoffs, already telling their employees and shit.
Right. Yeah. They're fucking woe is me. Yeah. Fuck you guys. You guys are the scum of the earth. You guys are literally everything that is wrong with this world. So, I mean, yeah, good riddance, you know? I mean,
Yeah, as they tell you that you're not going to have any Social Security that you've paid in your whole life, they tell you we're $36 trillion in debt. And then you find out that we've actually been funding the protection, the media, and everything else around the entire planet. You know what I'm saying?
right. It's sickening. But you notice how he was telling him like, oh, you guys, you're in a bad position, you're in a really bad position, and he's nodding along. Yes, I know, we've been in bad position since the start. And Trump, as soon as Trump says you're not gonna win this, that's when he's like, but no, like, dude, you're not going to win. There's zero possibility whatsoever, even probably with our fucking help. Even if Joe Biden, even if Kamala Harris did end up winning, and she continued the never ending blank check funds of missiles and armaments and all that type of stuff to continue this kicking the can down the road, you're still not going to win. Like again, Russia is a nuclear armed big country. They take up like a third of the entire fucking world. Like, you're not gonna win. Like, there's not a possibility where you guys win this, right? The best thing that you could hope for is to not die. Like, that's about it at this point, And that's what Donald Trump and JD Vance are trying to negotiate right now. But yeah, he's still just, I don't know if he's got this delusion, because again, we know that the majority of this really, for at least the people in the United States side, it's a money laundering operation. It's a big old money laundering scheme. But I mean, dude, if Zelensky, if that was all that Zelensky was in for it, do you think he'd still be like, no, we're gonna win? Like, but then again, I don't know. Of course, that's kind of one of those things that I guess, you have to hold the line on that if you're trying to fucking scam somebody out of something, it's kind of
Not
that.
to mention for his own country, morale, so on. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
true.
he's their
But
so-called leader.
at the same time, I mean, how much more morale is left in Ukraine at this point?
I wouldn't say much. I mean, you've seen. I sent you a little clip of an article after this took place, where apparently the parliament is trying to get together and
Mhm.
vote on whether they're going to impeach the dude or not. So I mean they've had enough. I mean, I've also read shit where his approval rating is really low, kind of almost on par with the American Congress here, right? And there it is.
Yep. So let's see. Breaking: Ukrainian MP Oleksandr Dubinsky just called for an emergency session of Ukraine's parliament to initiate impeachment proceedings against President Zelensky after the Oval Office shouting match. This is huge. Zelensky's regime is collapsing in real time. And of course, we got Dabu in the comments. Welcome, sir. He says, "Hey, just wanted to say what up. Listened from Indiana. I was at work during the Trump Zelensky dialogue, so I didn't get a chance to watch it live." Dude, I was actually listening to Dr. Steve Turley live when the news came through, so I got to watch his live reaction live on air as it took place. But yeah, dude, again, just absolutely fucking masterful, man. Like, it's again, I guess it's just it's hard to believe, I guess, that Zelensky still thinks that he has any sort of chance. Again, really, from any sort of realistic standpoint, he should be arguing just for, like, survival over total destruction at this point. That's, like, again, that he's got to realize that those are his only two options at this point. So I mean, it's clear as day to anybody else, but apparently not the lefties and the Zelenskys.
The Slavas, right? Slavas,
Right.
like you said, man, we got to punch Nazis, but hell ass up.
Right, exactly. So I see this one here. We got Chris Murphy. Oh, Chris Murphy. He's of course, a U.S. Senator from Connecticut. He says, what just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help brutal Russian dictator and hurt American security. Trump has become a Putin lapdog in America's global blah, blah, blah. We'll hear him say it all in just a second. And actually, we're on the wrong tab. There you go.
What we just witnessed between Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and President Zelensky inside the White House was an ambush. It was a planned ambush designed to embarrass President Zelensky in order to benefit Vladimir Putin. That was an embarrassment. That was an abomination. What you watched was American power being destroyed in the world as everybody watches President Trump become a lapdog for a brutal dictator in Moscow. It's got to be hard for Americans to understand how the White House has just become an outlet for Kremlin propaganda. Why the health of Vladimir Putin matters more than the health of democracies. That was absolutely extraordinary to watch. The planned embarrassment of an ally just because it's good for Russia. Nothing about that is good for America. It makes us look like a laughing stock. It makes us look like we do not care about democracy. It gives a green light for Russia and China to invade their neighbors, to unveil a new era of global instability that's terrible for the American economy and terrible for American workers. I met with President Zelensky this morning, and he knew that he was going to have a tough job meeting with President Trump. But he was here to try to find some common ground, despite the fact that Donald Trump calls him a dictator, despite the fact that you can't work for the Trump administration right now unless you pretend that the war in Ukraine was Ukraine's fault. All utter bullshit, utter lies. Despite all of that, Zelensky still came here because he cares about his people, because he cares about democracy. And what he got was an embarrassment. What he got was an ambush. What he got was something that no world leader, especially a vital ally like Ukraine, deserved. What an embarrassment for this country. What a terrible day.
What a vital ally like Ukraine. Right. We benefit wheat, so much from them. Right. We literally have to fucking go in and take their fucking minerals just so that way we could get some sort of fucking, return on our fucking multi-billion-dollar investment. Right. Or I'm sure the allyship is very, very mutually beneficial. But of course, let's go ahead and tackle the first part that he's saying, and that's that this was an ambush. All right. So do you think, honestly, because I could possibly see, maybe a little bit. Do you think that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance went into this knowing that they're gonna we're gonna go in there, we're gonna fucking lay down the law. He tries to get mouthy, we're gonna fucking put him in his place. It's gonna be big league. All right. Do you think they went into it with any sort of plan like that?
I think they went into it with the outlook of we're coming from a position of power, like we hold the fucking cards here. You know what I mean? Like we're funding it, dude. Like these people are alive right now because of us, and not the fucking EU. And we're the ones that are going to be able to work a deal. This guy's being unreasonable. You heard Trump say he keeps repeating, "I don't want a ceasefire." When that's the point, is to stop the fighting. Like Trump said, you're not going to win. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they came into it to an extent with that direction, but just hearing that little Weakris speak that you just played the video of, Zelensky went into it with a chip on his shoulder, already telling his Democrat buddies that jerk him off, like it's going to be hard just to deal with Trump, says and so I'm sure he went in with a chip, and I mean, you've seen he was all tensed up and looking on edge as soon as he got out the ride in front of the joint, man. When Trump was out there waiting. Again, the video where Trump's look, he's all dressed up. I mean, but Trump was clowning him from the jump, because. And you got to think back. I mean, Trump was basically, impeached for a phone call over this dude, and this guy could have cleared it all up in an instant, but he didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's untrustworthy, man, and he's a corrupt fuck, and he is a dictator. I mean, we've covered this a lot of times on this show. This guy's shut down Orthodox churches, forbidden, different types of fucking political parties, eliminated, double digits keeps putting off elections. It's not the time. Like who, obviously you're not the single one to make that decision, but they have a parliamentary system. So I mean, he is a dictator, and I'm not sticking up for Putin. Putin's a dictator too. Fuck him too, man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I mean, it's about America's benefit, and
Yeah.
that's where Trump seems to be coming from at all angles, at all times.
Yep. And so that of course is the other part that he was trying to point out that he's over there voting or more concerned about the health of Vladimir Putin rather than the health of democracies in Europe. Like, dude, democracies in Europe that continually cancel elections that they don't like the projected outcome of. Of course, as you just mentioned, he canceled the elections. He's shut down Orthodox churches in the state. What's democratic about Europe right now? Like, what? Tell me, like what? Because they have things written down that say that they are. Like, really, there's nothing about it. They don't even have free speech over there. We talked about last week. They're over there seizing people's computers because they said mean tweets online and shit like that.
I'm
So yeah,
laughing about it like it's fucking hilarious.
right, just fucking proud of themselves, dude. Like, yeah, that's no democracy that I'm trying to defend at all, right? And I'm not with that at all, And then the other thing, of course, is like you said, Zelensky went along with the whole fucking impeachment thing. Like, he pretty much played the whole thing out, and that's actually kind of the opposite. Part of the spectrum that Donald Trump was pointing out. I believe it was earlier in that in the Oval Office, basically, where you said, or it could have been from another interview. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I remember you saying something about Vladimir Putin has been through a lot. He's basically the whole every Russia hoax. They fucking make false allegations against Russia. They say that Russia fucking, created the Hunter Biden laptop so that way they could fucking, destroy America. Like, they use Russia as a scapegoat all the time. And Russia didn't do shit. Like, Russia didn't fucking create the Hunter Biden laptop. Hunter Biden took those fucking pictures himself, right? It wasn't, Russian AI or anything like that, that was Hunter Biden himself, right? But yet Russia gets blamed for it, right? And so it really just shows the two ends of the spectrum. Again, Russia's fucking dictator, whatever. We're not friends with Russia, but at the same time, it really does show just the two opposite ends of the spectrum that they're on. Vladimir Zelensky went along with an impeachment hoax that he knew for a fact was a hoax, right? Or on the other hand, Russia gets blamed for all the hoaxes that they know for a fact they weren't involved in. They had no fucking involvement in. So it really just shows that the opposite ends of the spectrum, and it really shows this elitist conglomerate that we have going on, within the globalist politics right now. Where basically the outsiders like Donald Trump, the outsiders like Russia, all these people, they're not included, right? You guys don't count because we need to have boogeymen and stuff like that. And so really they kind of been run through the same sort of ringer. So I mean, I don't see why Donald Trump would I want to identify any closer with this fucking sock puppet Vladimir Zelensky rather than the person that gets put through the same sort of shit on almost a daily basis that Donald Trump had just been put through.
Not to mention what's going to be right. We already deal with dictatorships, right? I mean, at different angles, different reasons, and most of the time you'd like to feel that it's somewhat beneficial, right? I mean, whether it's purchasing oil or what have you, right? But what would be more beneficial for America as far as foreign relations go? One of the fucking top 3 economies on the planet. You know what I mean? Or a corrupt little shithole that produces wheat that we have the opportunity to move our people, our equipment over there to try to, like you said, mine up their fucking, resources so we can get some of our fucking money back. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's, to me, it would be much more beneficial to, gain the trust and trade with an actual world power, rather than, a supposed ally that's just again a corrupt shithole. And then this just like this weak wrist again, it's always democracies. I mean, no, that's just some word they use to try to affiliate us with other fucking aspects of Western society. And like you said, those places aren't democracies anymore, and we've never been. You know what I mean? I give two shits. Like,
Right.
I mean, I'm tired of paying for that shit. I mean, you see, what a machine America really is. Like again, how we've spoken on earlier, when you realize that we're funding the entire planet. And
Right.
just think if we put that into ourselves, infrastructure, dealing with issues as far as the homeless and so on and so forth.
Yep. Shit, anybody could wage war. A true leader wages peace.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make you strong if you're peaceful because you have to be. Which
Right.
without us, that would be Zelensky. You're peaceful when you're capable of great fucking acts of violence, but it's a last resort.
Right. Everything's peaceful as long as everybody keeps their finger on the trigger, right? Like, we're all good then. Right. Everybody just point 'em. Everybody point. No, nobody stop pointing. Just everybody pointing at all times. Keep your finger there. Right. Uh, but yeah. There's obviously much better ways that not to sound all like we could all do better, bro. Give peace a chance, man. But there really is much better ways that a society as advanced as ours could be functioning. We really don't need to be making all this fucking great leaps and advancements in technology and robotics and satellite technology and drone technology, so that way we could fucking kill our neighbors and take their resources, or it, what have you. It doesn't even matter, even if it's just so that way we could scare their neighbors and make them think that they don't want to mess with us, or oh, you guys better do some good business with us or whatever. It doesn't matter what the reasoning is. We honestly, I'm pretty sure if we could put our minds to better things,
For sure, man. I mean, we could definitely move forward. I mean, even now, I mean, like with Musk. Yeah, I mean, this guy's trying to move us to a different planet, and they want to attack him because he's trying to eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean,
Right.
fucking clown world shit.
Yep. It's like, do you remember that show Cheaters back in the day? Fucking
Yeah.
Joey Greco and shit. Right. Fucking Elon Musk is Joey Greco. Right. The federal government is the cheating spouse. And the Democrats basically right now are the ones that are watching the videotape of their spouse cheating on them. And Joey Greco is the one showing them, and they're about to stab Joey Greco. That's what's going on right now. That's basically about the way that this whole thing's going down. And again, it's actually kind of an understandable human emotion, because that really is sort of the type of thing. These people fucking went and made asses out of themselves in the streets fighting for this fucking regime, and then come to find out that it's they've been rooting for the bad guys the entire time. They've been rooting for the people that actually are evil and are actually doing all of the things that they're trying to accuse Donald Trump of doing, right? And then Elon Musk comes out and exposes everything, and exposes all of the waste, corruption, from both sides. It doesn't matter. It's just government in general. And these people that are over here rooting for this fucking totally top down centralized socialist government because socialism is utopia, they're finding out that it's always going to have the same results. If you centralize that much power, it's always going to have the same results, and the results are corruption. That's just the way that it works. And they're really it's I could imagine a lot of them are coming feeling a bit of a betrayal, of sorts. A lot of them probably don't want to admit it yet, so they're over here trying to shoot the messenger. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are feeling that, like, fuck,
Yeah, and especially like their big thing, especially recently with them trying to pass the budget bill and whatnot, is they're going to get your Medicaids and Social Securities, and I mean he's telling you like they've paid out hundreds of billions of dollars in false Social Security payments to people that don't even live in the country, man, and they're like, oh, we got to get them. I mean,
right?
I mean, it's unbelievable shit. It's hard to believe that you live in this reality at this point.
Yep, insane, man. It just goes to show a lot of the people, they're just broken. Their brains are broken. Like we we've talked about this several times before. A lot of these people at this point, they don't have an ideology. Their ideology is literally the opposite of what Trump says. Trump could say, fucking food is good and nourishes your body, and they'll be over there advocating for, vitamin pills. We don't need food. Food is evil, man. Corporations, bro. Donald Trump could say that, I don't know if I could, it's good to drink water, and then they'll be over here advocating for why you should drink soda, man. Pepsi, bro. Pepsi products, man. Coca-Cola,
Right. They're already searching out how to refluoridate their water, and
right. These people are insane. These people are just insane at this point. And it's you always want to talk about mental health and shit like that. We have a mental health crisis, and it's because of the fact that we don't act like mental health is an actual thing. And I'm not trying to say the whole fucking everybody needs to get therapy, everybody needs fucking to be put on this and that fucking antidepressant, anything like that. No, but really some people aren't fit for society. Some people do need to be institutionalized. Like some people that think and walk around in fucking cat suits and drink out of fucking cat bowls in the fucking restaurant, those people are not well. Those people are not okay. Like those people need help, and like, dude, like you want to talk about mental health and shit like that, dude, that's a actual huge problem, and it's really because it's inhumane to tell these people that they're not actually the fucking weird animals that they claim to be. It's inhumane. Like that's not nice, And it's like, dude, like, sorry, that's just the way it is. And again, a lot of this really is a social contagion. A lot of these people really are just doing what gets clicks and likes and this and that type shit. And again, a lot of it really is because they don't have the threat of lobotomization or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even have the threat of public shame at this point.
Right.
I mean, like you said, you're bad if you're like, wow, I'm not going to perpetuate mental illness, bud.
Right. Right. And not trying to, say like, obviously how things ended up going back in the day, like fucking this woman of mine, she makes these eggs too runny every now and then, fucking lobotomize her, but not talking about like things like that, but like really severe fucking cases and shit like that. Like these people that are out there on the street that literally have an extra layer of skin that's made out of dirt, like those people, they need help. Like those people aren't going to take care of themselves. Like I don't give a fuck how much money you give them. I don't give a shit if you put them in a fancy 5-star fucking hotel. These people are not going to take care of themselves because they're not capable of it. Right. That's just the reality. Like, yeah, it's sad. It sucks. Some of these people, that's people's family members and shit like that. It's people's cousins. Some people that's their fucking parents, like that's just the sad reality of it. That's the way that it is, and it's really shit. The inhumane thing is just letting these people fucking rot out there in society and just destroy themselves and destroy the world around them just because we're too compassionate to help them.
Yeah, that's you hear the lefties, with the homeless aspect, like, there's so many empty homes, you could just like give them houses, like that bitch will be burned down or a basement knee deep in feces in fucking months, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you said, I mean, they're incapable, they need help, man. And closing down, the old home for the fucking criminally insane was not a good idea.
Right. Yep. Right.
And again, they're sending your money off to do, gay shit in India when your citizens that you're worried about, they're homeless. They could be getting the help they need, and it wouldn't
Exactly.
phase anything.
Exactly. It's just yeah, we you hope things are changing, but we'll just have to see how it goes because there's always still that same underlying thing. It's human fucking nature, so things are looking good right now, but of course we're having our first major upset, and that's Pam Bondi on these Epstein files. So last week, I think we actually talked about it because it came out as we were doing the show that Pam Bondi said that, I have the Epstein files on my desk, they're going to be released next week sometime. We're still waiting, right? So again, there's a whole bunch of different facets to this. There's maybe they're just trying to cover it up. Maybe they're still just actually not, maybe there really is still the puppet masters way up high that even Donald Trump can't fucking deny, or Pam Bondi or anybody that he puts in place or whatever. There's also the Pam Bondi's playing 4D chess type thing to try and root out who the rats are within the FBI up there at the Southern District of New York office. There's also the possibility that they're going to slow roll it, right? And if they slow roll it, that's generally they're trying to hide stuff. They're trying to not give you everything. They're trying to give you, let's give them something to talk about.
Right. There's the
That's
Alex
about
Jones
it.
too, man, where he states that a whistleblower has come out and said that James Comey is running the cover up, and it's coming out of the New York district, FBI there, and that you remember McCabe, openly anti-Trump, went on the whole "we'll stop him," with our insurance plan or whatnot. That's where that dude came out of. And then you got her supposedly sending a letter to Cash demanding FBI cooperation, him saying that we're about justice and integrities, and we'll get to the bottoms of it and hold whoever's involved, for prosecution or what have you. But then there's also the whole, well, they've been actually destroying shit the whole time. Again, a
Right.
whistleblower previously, a couple of weeks ago, said that they've already begun shredding paperwork. So you never
Right.
know, man. They're in there with hammers and their blackberries or whatnot.
Right. Fucking they're acid washing, man.
Bitch beats. Bitch beats.
Right. Fucking yeah, that was kind of a Dr. Steve's theory, was that basically that it was a bit of a 4D chess move, that basically they're trying to sniff out the rats. Basically, they know that the Southern District of New York was corrupt. Of course, the Southern District of New York is the same people that brought these same bullshit. Was it the hush money case against Donald Trump? Of course, the Stormy Daniels one. That's the exact same people. So there's the theory that maybe they were trying to put these feelers out there, say, hey, Southern District of New York, we know you have all those Epstein files. We're going to need you to send those over ASAP. And then basically they just watch and see who starts fucking scurrying, who starts fucking deleting shit. And then that's your guy, get rid of
Who
those
knows about
motherfuckers
the
right there.
covert shit, like you're saying, bro? Like you could be spot on or what, but as far as public opinion goes, fucking dude,
Right.
horrifying,
Oh, yeah.
nasty, dude, just asinine.
Mhm.
Especially the show with the whole influencers. It's just like Harry Sisson and the gang, right? Posing out there with the golden ticket, the
Right.
binders, and it's the same shit that was already publicly available on the Department of Justice site, but now it's redacted, like you mentioned in the intro.
Even
I mean,
further.
just the sham, right? And then to me, it brings those, so-called influencers. If you paid attention to them, I only recognized a couple of them, but it brings your opinion of them down as well. And what the fuck is Chaya Raichik doing there? Like libs of TikTok, she posts other people's videos. That's her claim
Right.
to fame, and she got banned for doing it. That's how she
Yep.
got famous, man. You know what I mean? Like, why the
Yep.
fuck is she there, bro? That's not a journalist, dog.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we're more of journalists than she is, dog.
Right. Yeah. If you notice, they brought only the cultural influencers, right? They didn't bring anybody that does, any deep investigative journalism. They don't do anybody that does any follow-ups. There's all people that basically, click and repost videos and stuff like that. Again, not trying to say that, like we're some big journalist show, but I mean, again, we don't aim to be, some deep journalist show. We hang out, we talk politics and stuff like that, but they didn't bring any of those people that are, part of that sphere of, deep digging, journalism and stuff. And I think that was definitely for a reason, or they didn't bring a lot of those people that ask more of the tougher questions. They brought a lot of the people that were just like, I'm just happy to be here. Like I get to hold a folder, like they brought, those people. So that, it again, could be 4D chess, but either way, the optics, which, in terms of dealing with government, because you don't ever actually know for sure, even when you have the release of documents, you never actually know for sure if that's actually the truth, so when it comes to government workings, perception is always reality, and the perception here is all bad, right? Again, we don't know how much more is going to come out, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's all bad. And it looks like Pam Bondi may have just bitten off a little bit more than she could chew, or maybe she just gotten a little bit over her head when she was talking with Jesse Waters. And he basically, like, I have the files on my desk right now. And basically, wrote a check that she couldn't cash right there, and that check ended up bouncing, at least thus far. So we'll see how it ends up going. Again, with that letter that she sent, though, it does solidify a couple things. Of course, the FBI does work underneath the Pam Bondi. So she did lay out her basically her authority position in that letter as well too, saying you will have this to me within 14 days or something like that. And then at the same time, I forgot what I was going to say, but either way, seems like she got a little bit over her head. But yeah, it's just a bad look all the way around.
Yeah, not good. Not what anyone was looking forward to, and I guess what should have been expected, man. That I mean, look at the JFK situation. I mean, it's
Right.
it's been fucking decades. Just about everyone that could have been involved is dead, and they're still like, nope, can't tell you.
Right. Yep. Yeah, fucking absolutely insane. So I mean, again, we're over here cheering it on, but man, there's still always that theory, man. Trump is fucking deep state, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Right.
I think ultimately he's not even thinking about that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's not even like he's done put that responsibility or
Right.
you're putting your name on this, bud, whatever the case is.
Right. And of course, Pam Bondi, she's not no Matt Gaetz. Let's put it that way. She, of course, comes from Florida. From what I've, heard about her since she's been confirmed and stuff like that, she's the person that's responsible for red flag laws in Florida. Like, so
Not to mention, she was the attorney general there in Florida when Epstein was going through his fucking, jail time and whatnot. And, they gave him the most lenient sentence possible. She didn't do shit at that time.
Right. So, yeah, we're probably not going to get the Epstein files, you guys. It is what it is. But again, as we always say here at the Liberty Bowl, you should assume that your elected officials are all pedophiles. You should just naturally assume that, so either way. But yeah, it doesn't look like the Epstein files are going to be actually coming out. Looks like it was a big old nothing burger. But again, it could still have some sort of use. Again, it could end up rooting out a lot of these, corrupt people within the FBI that are either A, willing to delete files and stuff like that, or B, involved in covering up for these people. So yeah,
But the only thing that sucks there, you got these activist judges that keep putting these stays on, firings and, even people accepting, the buyouts. They keep trying to stop it and slow it. And, I mean, it's almost like they don't want the government to function. They want shit to be fucked up so they can say, see, when in reality, I mean, everything he's doing is under the purview of the executive branch. I mean, you literally have like, what is it? Well over a third of the entire government workforce falls under his, purview. So,
right. Well, a good chunk of the government workforce this week got an email saying, list 5 things that you accomplished this week. That sparked a firestorm, man. Of course, it's like, fuck, man, you guys are making us do too much around here, bro. The fuck, you want me to answer emails?
Right. First, we got to come into the office, and now we got to answer emails, man.
Right. So it's ridiculous, man. It's hilarious, to be honest with you. You can't list 5 things that you did this week that's too burdensome to you. You're way too busy right now. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Right? You guys are the most inefficient entity in the face of the earth in human history, right? You guys can't get shit accomplished. You guys haven't been in the office for years at this point, like what the fuck do you mean? You don't got time to answer an email? Like, shit, put one of them is fucking. I opened my emails this morning. I responded to an email. I thought deeply about my position.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Dude, well,
fucking
the funniest shit is, that you have these workers going, on the media circuit, going on CNN. So they've took the time to, go through the contact, then go through the prep, go through the interview, to bitch about having to answer 5 questions in an email. You know
right.
what I mean? Like, way less time, you coulda just answered several
They
emails
probably got
and
their fucking makeup and hair did too. Like,
right, exactly.
right. Oh, you're paying for all that shit too. Yeah, just so
Mhm.
you know, it's all on your dime, your treat.
Yep, and it's harassment and abuse. I mean, just hilarious, man. I mean, dude, I have to put in, a pretty decent description of what I've accomplished every single day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Several times a day. Every single time I pull over, I gotta tell my bosses what I'm doing, like fucking hey man, it's too difficult for you to answer an email. Just listing 5 things that you did today. Like, all right.
The entitlement is insane. I mean, these people think that not only are they not supposed to be accountable, but that they don't actually have to do anything they're told. They're just like, "What the fuck? Like, this is insane harassment." Like,
Right.
he's like, "Dude, you have to work. That's why you're being paid." You
Yep.
know what I mean? Off to McDonald's with you.
Right. These people really are just having, government funded withdrawals, it's like watching, a fucking, it's, watching, people like Chuck Schumer and stuff like that go out there and advocate, we need the IRS. We won't rest until we save the IRS. Like, shit like that. It's basically the governmental equivalent of the crackhead coming out and saying, come on, man, I suck your dick.
Yeah, right.
It's basically the exact same thing. That's about the level into withdrawal that they're at right now. And we've talked about it quite a bit. It's not going to be a pretty fucking sight. These people basically have had a money printing machine. Like it sounds like a fucking something you'd hear about in a fucking science fiction novel, but no, these people literally had a fucking money printing machine, and they had fucking rat holes and all these different money laundering schemes where they could basically just withdraw it whenever they felt like it. um you know didn't take a vote, didn't take an act of Congress, none of that type of shit. And they're having full on withdrawals right now, because I mean, I'd imagine money is probably a lot harder of a drug than things like heroin or alcohol. So they're fucking tossing and turning. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are losing lots of sleep at night. So you love to see it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you hope, especially with the Google searches that are going up, man. Criminal representation, I mean, different stuff, dude. How to get rid of your citizenship, dude. How to gain citizenship, like in other countries. I mean, the Google searches are pretty hilarious. And then, the sale prices across, the tri-state area there, all in the upper end neighborhoods, the prices have, been plummeting. Like people are just lowering the price. Like, just get me the fuck out of here, man. Give me
Right.
half what I paid for it, dude.
Right. Fuck it, man. Just pay for the upkeep, bro.
Right, just take over the taxes. I'm out, man.
Right. Right, man. Yep. It's the obvious, result, I guess, of all these, sorts of policies and things like that. But man, crazy times that we're living in.
Yeah, but again with the fight, the attempted terminations and buyouts and whatnot. The unpopular opinion with a lot of Merkins, right? But it shows you the disgusting filth that is a fucking union, man. And these
Yeah.
people are, obviously useless, corrupt, politically biased in positions where you're supposed to keep, that to yourself, professional attitude and whatnot, and just blatant blatant disregard, for the executive hierarchy. And unions are the ones filing all these lawsuits with these activist judges, and they just they judge search. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once it gets shot down, or the stay passes, they just move on to a different liberal state or district and get
Yep.
another newly appointed, or Obama appointed judge to side with them.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Unions are, dude, killers of business, of monetary foundation. I give a shit. And like many things that were a good idea at one point and worked out for a particular time period or generation, they expire. I mean, you think of the Social Security system, the Federal Reserve, whatever the case, and unions are definitely that.
yep.
Fuck
So
on, man.
they're definitely aiding in the prevention of the robotic revolution
Yeah,
in industry in America. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
fucks up the wages for everyone that's not union.
Right. Yeah. If I can, yeah, definitely. Again, that's just unions. In fucking government workers unions should be
Well, of
outright
course.
illegal. Like that's
Yeah,
even worse. Like the fuck you talking about? Like
yeah.
you're a union that is paid off of fucking taxes. Like you're literally a union that fights for the fucking the continuation of government waste, of people that literally work absolutely meaningless jobs within government. Like they have to maintain this position for this person. uh yeah, that's absolutely fucking disgusting and immoral. That's downright unconstitutional, tell you what.
Yeah, and the scale is ridiculous. I mean, the biggest part is unpaid liabilities. I mean, and you have these people that you're going to have to pay, basically as long as they're alive, and when they die, you have to pay their spouse, and their retirement until they die. And I mean, again, don't get me wrong, having a retirement's great, but it shouldn't be on the shoulders of someone else to plan the rest of your fucking life. And you know what I mean? And then they
Right.
use the funds that they absorb in it for political activism. And I mean, you see it on like more of a macro scale, like Michigan, for instance, like Detroit, high tax, highest some of the highest property taxes. The city's in receivership, and mainly because again of unpaid liabilities. Like that's something that like Ford, I think owes several $100 billion in union retirement funds.
I wonder if we're going to start seeing people coming out of the woodwork that have been receiving government checks for fucking decades in exchange for their silence and stuff. Like, oh, you're never going to have to work again. You just get this done. You will get that government check like fucking clockwork for the rest of your
Mm.
life. You don't ever have to work. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of that fucking type of spending and shit, going on too. That's probably going to end up getting getting the cut. But yeah, I wonder if people are going to start coming out of the woodwork.
I mean, you already have the threats, supposedly that through the intelligence agencies, like, if you lay these people off, they're going to start selling state secrets to China and Russia, and then you hear the rumblings. Again, it's the inner zone, so you don't know what's actual, right? But supposedly they're actively China and Russia trying to recruit these people that are in line for terminations
Right.
already. So
Right. That's another thing is, I mean, when worlds collide, right? When whatever the fuck hit the earth and it reformed into the fucking moon, it didn't just break and fucking, one destroyed the other, I mean, basically those are going to break off and they're going to reform into something else, into something, much, much worse. Or, that's one thing that I do kind of worry about is where, all these fucking, intelligence people that have worked in the intelligence community their entire lives, they have all of these, connections, all of these, uh, different contacts and stuff like that. What are they going to do with the rest of their lives? Because I doubt they're just gonna like, dang it, man, I gotta go work at McDonald's now. Like, no, these people are there. That's what they do. That's their life. I mean, they're probably gonna end up working like some mercenary job, or fucking
I was going
working.
to say private entities, fucking,
Right,
Blackwater,
right.
shit like that, man.
Yeah.
Halliburton.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that ends up playing out in the long run. But yeah, dude, definitely a crazy times that we're living in. Can't stress that enough, man. Definitely nutso out here. Uh, Yeah, one thing that's definitely nuts is Joy Reid got fired, man. And again, it's only because of racism, you guys. I mean, at least that's what I heard. That's what I've been told by the mainstream media. They would never steer you wrong. They don't lie. They're trustworthy as can be. And what they've told me, at least what what Rachel Maddow has told us, is that it's clearly racism because no possibility it could be anything else, right? I mean, they're the most credible news source on the face of the planet is MSNBC, and especially Joy Reid, right? Joy Reid is the most sunshiny, bubbly person. She loves all people. She definitely loves all people of this world. She's definitely not a hateful bone in this woman's body. She's the most bubbly, joyful person that you could ever listen to. So it's clearly racism, you guys. But yeah, what's your thoughts on old Joyless Reed getting fired?
It's absolutely racism. It's the racist grift pouring out of her fucking trap, man. That is
Right.
one hateful woman. And even what was I believe her last episode, she used it to triple down and say America's fascist now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Fuck
it's pretty good
crackers.
shit. Yeah. And and then her punch up, I guess, was it's not just racism, it's definitely fascisms. And it has nothing to do with the fact that she was pulling in like 80,000 views, which you have podcasts or YouTube shows that do 5-10 times that every single day. And it has not it's just the fact that people are sick of the grift, man. I mean, you can only hear hate spewed at you directly into your mouth like so many times before you just turn the page, and it's that's all it was. The
Yep.
read out show was just trying to rile the troops and sow division and subversion.
Yep. I'm sure a lot of it really has to do too with the fact that their government propaganda funding has been cut off as well too. At least I would
Yeah.
hope. I would hope, at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
but also, in the racist tip, they're replacing her with, I believe, two black people and a Mexican person that they're going to do like a panel show. So, that's definitely racism.
right, man. That's definitely what white supremacy even.
Right.
Definitely some clan shit going on there. But yeah, man. Obviously, Joy Reid was absolutely horrible. I think they're going to start purging a lot of these old personalities that do have a lot of this discreditation attached to their names at this point, based off of the you take the shot, the virus stops with you, you can't get it, nobody else gets it, you can't transmit it. Like I think a lot of those people are going to end up getting canned, so that way they could rebuild what was destroyed. They could rebuild the machine. We could
Not to
rebuild it.
mention the cost, like the quote you just did there, Maddow. I think she makes like 25 million a year and does like one show a week. So it's like
Right.
several 100,000 per episode. So I mean, they're going to replace Joy Reid again with 3 people, but it's probably going to cost a third.
They found him at fucking Home Depot and shit. Like,
Right.
that's why there's 2 Mexicans there. There's 2 black guys and a Mexican.
Right. I don't
Yeah,
even know if it's guys. I just heard that it's going to be a mixed panel.
I'm sure that a couple of them are definitely probably gay. So there's what gay, trans, or some all of the above. But
Speaking of gay, I mean, then you had old Don Lemonhead coming out in defense of Joy Reid, and again punching upward. What's her name? The blonde chick, man. She used to be on Fox and she was on MSNBC.
Megan Kelly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Megan Kelly telling her flat out, fuck you. And,
Yeah.
if my 30 years of journalism's, fuck you. And again, that journalism word, like you've regurgitated what you've been told to say, man.
Yep. Yeah. Fucking no opinions of your own, no actual research of your own. You literally read from a teleprompter. You were fucking Ron Burgundy. All right. Don't get on your high horse, buddy. All right. But yeah, man, fucking yep, you love to see them go, man. You love to see them go, but at the same time, that obviously they're getting onto the new crop. They see what they see what's coming down the river. They see that it's podcasts, it's social media influencers and stuff like that. Those are the people that they need to be buying and funding and spewing, using to spew propaganda and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure they're just out with the old, in with the new. That's the as it goes, I suppose.
Good times, man. I definitely like to see it. And they're obviously trying to move into other avenues. You got Don Lemon now. He's a YouTuber. I'm sure Joy Reid will follow. You got Jake Tapper writing a book about the Biden mental decline and the cover up, as he was a huge part of the cover up, and even tried to lambaste Laura Trump on air over her saying he's in mental decline.
Right.
So they're going to continue to double down, which is hilarious. But what's worse is that some of them still have an audience. Like Don Lemon's got like 500,000 subs on YouTube. Like, who the fuck is watching? He wasn't even pulling that many views on CNN.
Right.
You know what I mean? It goes to that dead inner zone theory, where it's 68% of the inner zones is actually bots, hackers, and tools.
Right. Do you think that they're gonna? Of course. Yeah. Obviously, there's always going to be fucking two factions, and there's always going to be a left and a right in America. Do you think that they're going to these people like Don Lemon and stuff like that he's basically just kind of the pilot into the left getting into this whole podcast sphere, this whole independent media sphere, this whole not reading from a script form of broadcasting?
He's their first go at, we got to have our Joe Rogan. That's
Right.
definitely not going to be your Joe Rogan. And you
Yeah.
had Joe Rogan. But maybe, I mean, you could be right. That could be what time it was. And
really,
at first he was trying to strike out an X before Tucker did.
right.
You know what I mean? He just fucking blew it with Elon, man. He pulled his Zelensky, dude. Like,
I mean, the Titanic just sank, man. And all the fucking lefties are just trying to cling to the only thing that's left floating right now, and apparently it's Don Lemon.
fuck Don Lemon, dude. I mean, Rachel Madcow still got a job at this point, and she's not giving up none of her cash to save Joy Reid's, no matter how racist it is.
Dude, old people love fucking Rachel Maddow. Like fucking old ladies love Rachel Maddow for some reason, dude. Like
get that haircut and wear some men's clothes and put on them fucking weird glasses, and suddenly people think that you're commanding some kind of attention. I guess I don't know what the fuck.
Right. Yep. Oh man.
Hysterical nonsense. So she was one of the ones, like you were saying, if you get the COVID shots, you can't pass the COVID shots. And look, I got Trump's taxes. It just so happens to show that he's paid more taxes in 1 year than you'll ever make in your whole fucking life. You know what I mean? Just clown world shit, dude.
Right. The whole fucking thing about Trump's taxes too, man. It's fucking hilarious because, of course, these people are over here like, but what if Elon Musk leaks your tax information and stuff like that? Like, that'd be quite odd for somebody to leak tax information. I've never heard of anything like that going on, in America. Like, yeah, definitely the IRS that we had before would never do anything like leak somebody's tax information, right? I mean, all of your tax information was totally safe and secure with the IRS that we had before, right? These people are fucking ridiculous. I don't even know if it's not even just a lack of self-awareness, or even if it's a hypocrisy anymore. I think a lot of the people that are doing this shit are just straight rules for radicals evil style.
Yep.
Evil.
Yep, totally agree.
Yep. And you love to see them fucking squirming. You love to see their tears. You love to see fucking Joy Reid saying my show had value.
the video that went around with the side by side where she's talking about white tears and stuff.
Tears.
Just great. Just fucking great, man.
My show had value. Apparently not, because you got fucking axed, lady. Oh man. Good times. So a whole lot of people actually getting axed. Of course, we've, since Donald Trump took off, his heads have been rolling left and right. Another group that is some heads that have been rolling. It's a whole big old group chat, apparently, within the national, or is it the NSA? Yes, within the NSA, is just been uncovered and purged by Tulsi Gabbard. So Tulsi Gabbard actually getting in there, delivering. She's doing what it do. And again, like I said, I didn't read none of the text messages, anything like that, anything within the group chat. But I've heard that it was quite egregious. What sort of information you got on this horrendous turn of events.
Talking about getting butthole shocked for hair removal and I like being penetrated now that I fucking had my mangina installed, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, some deviant sick shit, and this was all a part of the inclusion program, because apparently inclusion means disgusting deviance during work hours. I mean, you just can't grasp any type of a modicum of logic when discussing the actions of these quote people. I mean, it's just discussed all the time, and like you were saying earlier about they need hell. Yeah, this is prime example. This is not only dysphoria, but just complete mental illness. I mean, the type that would tear their skin off, get them
Right.
off me type of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's bad, man. It's at the highest fucking levels of, intelligence. Like this is horrible. These are the people that are over here
Again, you're
spying
paying
on you.
for it.
Right. These are people over here fucking spying on you in the airport bathrooms and shit. Like that's these people, absolutely insane shit. But of course, we already knew that, government's depraved. Of course, we all remember what took place on the Senate floor. Was it like a year or two ago, something like that? The two fucking gay dudes filming a
Yeah.
like OnlyFans fucking video or something like that on the Senate floor, like absolute debauchery. Absolute like again, like I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even think there's a word for just how inappropriate that is, And again, just this type of stuff as well too. Again, these are the types of people that they're over here giving you these sob stories, like fucking like, oh, so and so used to test water down here at the local lake or something like that, but ever since the Doge team came in, he's been fired. He just started working here less than a year ago. Like, so fucking for 1 year, less than a year, you guys have been paying this guy to go out and put a little fucking test strip in the water, and okay, I bring it back now. Like, yeah, that guy could go. Like,
Pull your salary.
right? Like, sorry, but like, you probably shouldn't have fucking applied for a job working in the government while Donald Trump's on a fucking hot streak of a campaign telling people that he's going to purge and drain the fucking swamp. Like he's probably not the best time to apply for a government job, especially something as meaningless as that. I don't know how the fuck do you like. How do you even find that job? Like, like how?
Yeah.
Where do those jobs come from? Like do you go on like Indeed or something like that? Like fucking,
Nah,
like,
it's who you blow, man.
right, man. Like, how do I get a fucking $80,000 a year fucking job just going out and testing fucking water, and I'll call myself a fucking an environmentalist. I'm an ecologist, Like, yeah, how the
Yeah.
fuck does all these people get hired? Job
Well,
fairs.
they make you pay for it. They don't care, man.
All right, yeah, fucking ridiculous, man. But yeah, man, absolute debauchery. But it's good to see Tulsi Gabbard's in there, getting in there, doing her part. Yeah, anything you want to say on Tulsi before we get
I mean,
on
it
from there?
seems like she's in there trying to really clean up some shit. I mean, she's been
Mhm.
on top of things, the same way as far as the admin's concerned, cutting, is tossing people out on their ass, holding people accountable, which is exactly what we voted for. The Pam Bondi shit aside, everything's been, just about exactly what we, wanted to see happen. So I
Yeah,
mean, the only thing that's again is held it up is activist judges. Otherwise, it would have already gone further. I mean, you got to remember this is holding up. I think the number's up to like 100,000 people that have accepted the buyout. That's not even people that can are just going to be terminated or what have you. They've been pretty fucking generous, and they paying 9 months and for a severance. And of course, tons of people have accepted it. It's just being held up. Otherwise, it would have gone further. Like I'm pretty happy with the results and what's been happening thus far.
yep, yeah, absolutely, man. It's again, like we've been saying since the inauguration, far exceeding our expectations. And Tulsi's no exception. Of course, she was scorned by her party. She was true blue Democrat for a long time, and again, just the when you try to admit the truth, when you're part of the cult, you get ousted, right? You become an outcast, you become a pariah. Everybody fucking starts attacking you, and that's basically what happened to Tulsi Gabbard, and that's how we have Tulsi Gabbard today. And it's just good to see that there's people that are at least again, a lot of Tulsi Gabbard's political views aside and stuff like that. There's it's good to see that there's people that are still in it to actually make things better for this country, not just in it. It's like, oh, dude, fucking once you get into government, man, you could go here, you could get here, you could fucking get hired at the board of fucking, this company, you could get hired on the board of this company. Like, it's, you could be a lobbyist for these people and shit. Like that's what the majority of government has become. It's good to see that there's still people in there that, they're not here for party. They're not here for anything like that. They're here to make America the best country in the world, the best place that it could possibly be. So, good on Tulsi, man. People are weird. They get them on.
But if you think about it, they're actually making a pretty big sacrifice because they're going to be scorned, dude. I mean, the core Republican Party already doesn't like these cats, and like you just said, the vast majority of this conglomeration in the administration is from the Democrat side. Like they're all previous Democrats, so they're going to be hated. And then for Tulsi to look back at her previous position and realize what an unserious spot it really was in reality. She held the current position that's held by David Hogg, man. So,
right. Like we all remember Kirsten Sinema, right? Remember what happened with her? She spoke out against immigration because, of course, she was a senator here for Arizona. And what did the Democrats do? They censored her, right? They basically
censored her, and then so that she went independent, and then she spoke out against them doing away with the filibuster. And then they fucking got rid of her, man.
Yeah, she's almost fucking, as far as I could tell, completely out of politics. I don't see her unless she comes to MAGA. But at this point, I mean, the trains are rolling. If you hop on, good luck finding a seat, lady. Like it is what
She's
it
got
is,
a
man.
big booty. She can roll up. She got a seat.
Right. But yeah, so it's. Again, the times they are changing. This is a movement. This isn't a political stunt. This isn't a vie for power. This isn't this isn't fucking anything like that. This is a political movement that's taking place in America, and it's really wouldn't you know it, bringing us back to our roots. It's like freedom of speech. The Second Amendment, things like that are important. And, it seems that the founding fathers, kind of made those like the main things for a reason. So yeah, it's good to see. Speaking of the old Second Amendment, or actually, hold on, we'll wait for that one. I want to touch real quick on the gold cards, man. What's your thoughts on the gold cards?
I mean, for you to gain citizenship in a lot of other first world countries, you have to have, so much money that you're going to invest, or you're going to open a business and provide so many, positions, for employment. There's a stipulations, for you to go to other places. So I don't see an issue with it being here. Obviously, we voted for, a tightening of immigration, and surely, shutting down the border as far as control is concerned. So I don't see an issue with it. $5 million is fucking steep, man.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how many people that's going to work out for. I'm sure there's more than we probably think, but I mean that's a true incentive to come here and do good, and put in work to uphold the American way. And if you're going to invest that much, I would assume you're going to come to assimilate, unless it's multi-billionaire that's chump change and he's just coming to cash in. But either way, it's gonna pour into the American coffers. So I'm good with it, man.
Oh yeah, shit definitely beats the fucking Mexican brown cards. Where the cartel fucking sends you across on a ship for fucking $20,000. So there's the plus there. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm for it.
Brown card.
Like you said, it is basically what a lot of other countries already do. There's plenty of countries in the world that, we should adopt a lot of their, immigration policies, things like that. There's lots of countries around the world where you can't even own land in that country unless you're a citizen. Like shit, we should do shit like that. Get fucking China out of here, all those places. But yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll see how it ends up playing out. I'm kind of interested to see the types of people that would end up coming. You know what I mean? Because if you're in a place where you're in like a third world country and you're doing well enough to where you can, work up $5 million to come to America, why do you want to come to America?
Yeah, because you could turn that 5 million into billions. I mean, there's that, and
Yeah.
the ability at least to be somewhat free. I mean, I know we like to say on here you really can't do anything. It's not taxed or regulated, but it could be a lot worse. And
I guess that would also kind of possibly bring some of those people that it's not just about the money. Like, fuck it, I'll spend the money so that way I could get over there, so that way I could fucking cure cancer or some shit like that, where I'm not working in a fucking tent anymore. Like, I'm,
there's going to be a loophole you're going to find out about later. They're like, it's 5 million in theirs, so actually it's like 48 American dollars.
Right. It's gonna be like the NFA tax stamps and shit like that, like $5 million, and then 10 years from now, $5 million is like chump change for everybody because
Right.
inflation. Yeah, fucking yeah. For those that don't know, the National Firearms Act basically was a $200 tax stamp that you had to pay in order to get things like suppressors, register machine guns, things like that. And the thought at the time was $200, and nobody's going to be able to fucking pay $200 for a tax stamp, so that way they could have silencers. Well, $200 now is pocket change to a lot of people. Well, to people that are out there buying suppressors and machine guns and shit, $200 is pretty much pocket change, so yeah, that didn't exactly play out the way that they planned. And of course now, I mean, dude, we have the cream of the crop. We have fucking Kash Patel, head of the FBI, and he's now basically the acting ATF director as well. They basically, Donald Trump, in an unprecedented move, has basically kind of fused the two together. As do what Donald Trump just fused the two together. Okay. And yeah, so Kash Patel is basically now heading up the ATF, right? From what I hear, again, Kash Patel, from what I've seen, hasn't been too vocal on his Second Amendment stance. He's not, 2A absolute from what I've seen. I've seen him speak at some like gun owners of America, conferences, things like that. And he is very pro Second Amendment, but he's not like, he's let's just say he's not Brandon Herrera, right? I'd definitely rather have Brandon Herrera for ATF director, but nonetheless, Kash Patel for ATF director is still a major win. Of course, you still kind of hope that he just fucking scatters that shit to the four corners or whatever. But nonetheless, good times, man. Kash Patel, ATF director. Hopefully, we'll get rid of be able to get some of those tax stamps approved a lot faster. I know I've bought some more firearms recently, and I've gotten approved right away. It took probably about 20 minutes, where it used to take about 45 minutes. So small steps, small victories. Yeah, any thoughts on the Kash Patel ATF director?
I mean, you like to see it, right? I mean, it's a lot better than the previous dude that couldn't even tell you a definition of a semi-automatic rifle.
Couldn't even take down a Glock.
Right. So you got that. But at the same time, like they're like, we're going to bring Kash in. We want him to clean up the FBI, and you don't want to spread him too thin. You know what I mean? And so you hope these are just the steps, like you said, they already have a plan in place where it's, that you're going to take over, you're going to come up with legitimate reasons, fucking do the paperwork, dot the I's, and we're just going to close that bitch down. And,
Right.
The guys that they consider to be, good dudes or what have you that work there, they're going to, absorb them into the FBI and, scatter them out, because that's part of Cash's plan as well, is to, put the FBI across the country rather than congregating in Virginia or DC. Like he says, you're law enforcement. Go enforce laws. Like, you know what I mean? You're
Right.
cops. Like, get the fuck out of here. Why are you sitting in an office together? So, I mean, that's how they got time to sit, plot and scheme, idle hands and whatnot. So, it's definitely, you see it moving in the right direction. But like you said, ultimately, you hope it comes to that point where it's, it's constitutional carry, man. We don't need you around, dude. That's why we
Right.
have other fucking law enforcement agencies.
Yep. Yep. Fucking it. I thought like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms were all like legal in America. Like, the fuck do we
Right.
need you for? You know, the fuck you doing here, man?
Yeah,
Did you guys
and
start out as bean counters?
alcohol and tobacco move that responsibility over to the FDA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Simple. Real simple. Fucking they could issue liquor licenses. Good to go. Explosives. I mean, shit, I guess it's another part of firearms, I suppose, or arms in general.
Yeah. Purview of the FBI, man. If that's still fucking around, because like you
Right.
said, ultimately you want to see that go too.
Yep.
Just let the county sheriffs and your local fucking law agencies, and then federal investigators, and that's it.
Yep. Before we talk about old Dan Bongino, I wanted to circle back for a second. I forgot what we were talking about now. Missed it. Damn. Fucking brain fart.
I'm talking about
Um,
cash, man.
with the Epstein files in the Southern District of New York. So, in terms of the FBI going rogue, what's your thoughts on the FBI going rogue? Do you think the FBI has gone rogue? Do you think the FBI is capable of going rogue? Of course, with people in place like Caspital, at least within the position of recognized authority, that seems to be within the hands of people like Caspital, Pam Bondi, now Dan Bongino. What do you think is the possibility of the FBI going rogue, or just a few small, corruptors getting in there and just fucking things up?
I'm sure it's more concentrated toward the upper echelon, right? People that actually have been there a while, know the system, have power, have played the politics, and you see that they've been rogue with McCabe and Comey. I mean that. So they've been committing acts basically that amount to espionage for quite some time. We don't know how long. These are just things that have come about in recent years, but you have things from the 80s and even the 70s that point to the fact that they've been in almost a shadow government onto themselves, the way they function, and
Right.
the way that like even with the Trump situation, the raiding of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, apparently that was a volunteer squad. Like, people have volunteered to go get involved in that shit. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Knowing like
Melania's underwear drawer, bro. Underwear drawer there.
But I mean, you talk about breaking precedents and causing division, and I mean, like, again, I've said the word a million times. You don't want to use it like the left uses the Nazis, but that's subversive shit. It really is treasonous fucking actions. I think that I wouldn't put anything past them. I believe that they have something to do with JFK, and hence the reason them and the CIA. That's why you'll never know. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Right.
all that will stay redacted until long after all of us are gone. You
But
know?
how far can they actually go? Like, how much damage do you? I mean, of course, obviously, again, we're just some fucking layman guys. We don't actually know anything. We're just spitballing here. How much damage do you think that they could actually do? These couple of rogue actors, or these couple of rogue districts, or these couple of rogue offices and things like that. How much damage do you think they could actually do? Of course, beyond things like destroying files. You know, I guess it's just, what do you think they could actually get accomplished?
I mean, the first impeachment, of Trump, even, I mean, that was purely FBI shit again with Comey, the Steele dossier. I mean, they were, spying on the campaign. I mean, they were duping people outright and, into, you know, divulging information by, we're buddies, we're talking. This isn't even an official thing, I mean, so I think that they can possibly, I mean, influence elections, obviously, but possibly up to and including, some type of, civil strife, man, like, real
Right.
altercation.
I mean, definitely the civil strife thing. I definitely, definitely could see them working things like that. But I mean, of course, to put it in a turn of phrase, that was then, this is now. Of course, we have Cash Patel running things, and of course, Dan Bongino is going to be on board very soon. With the likes of people like that, with the likes of the people that are much more loyal to Trump, and with Trump's new understanding of how things actually work within DC, how much damage do you think they're capable of doing? Again, like I said, of course, I'm pretty sure, civil strife, things like that are, obviously very, very possible. But what do you think?
At this point, I mean, obviously, you said that was then. This is now. I think that their powers being, pretty, limited at this point. And I think that bringing the Bongino in makes sense as far as, like I was saying, spreading cash thin, because he can put a lot of that responsibility onto someone he knows that he can trust, that has the same type of thought paradigm that the administration is trying to push forward. So that's going to limit the action. But like you said, just the destroying of evidence, the withholding of evidence, shit like that. I mean, slow rolling. I mean, they're going to do everything they can to bumble through, because they know they've outlasted, how many administrations up to this point, and all they got to do is just hold on for a few more years, and everything can go back to the way it was.
Right. Yep. If I can, when it comes to, like the idea of, like, people sitting at a round table going, man, so what are we going to do to destroy the country today and take over the world?
I
This
think
would be
that's
that group of
happening,
people.
but that's happening over fucking in goddamn Brussels and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Well, it was until we stopped funding them. Right. They ain't got no money no more. They fucking bankrupt. They went broke on their private jets and shit. Nah, thinking, of course, big money is always going to be a threat, man. I think it just, I don't know, whatever, Donald Trump can do to, install much more easier lanes of transparency for the government. And, again, just with these 3-letter agencies, these, agencies that are accountable to essentially nobody, we need to scatter them to the fucking winds. They need to be completely dismantled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, this is like I was saying earlier, bro. It's things that had served a purpose, were put together for a specific reason. They've ran their course, man.
right. Yep. And of course, again, we could just make things much more efficient. It's not to say that, we're not going to be spying on our enemies no more. It's not to say that, we're not going to be, fucking trying to, stop plots of fucking terrorism and shit like that no more. It's just, again, I'm sure we could do it much more efficiently. We could do things much more, I guess, transparent. And I guess we could do things in a way that limits their power to a great extent compared to what they have now, to where they're basically able to, defy the highest, the elected official, as on essentially the face of the planet, the president. That should not even be a possibility. Like that shouldn't even be, like I say, a possibility. I think we could do things much more streamlined, much more efficiently, to where we don't have all this guesswork and all of this, gigantic bureaucracy that is, the Federal Bureau of Investigations and just Central Intelligence in general.
Yeah, I mean, you hope that that's what it comes to, and then how, like again, how Cash said, disbursement as far as your law enforcement go enforce the law. I mean, you could have smaller fucking areas where they're assigned, to work with like local law enforcement and shit, rather than almost against. I mean, the stereotype, like the local police are there, they're involved, they have a bit of what's happening, and then the federal police come in like, it's ours now, take off,
Right.
little buddy. I mean, it's like that you're the same, you're cops, man.
Right. Go be cops, man. Oh, fucking Dan Bongino.
Fucking
Fucking
sad, dude.
yeah. I'm definitely sad. It's something that we've talked about, before on the show. Of course, we thought that he might be in consideration for the head of the Secret Service. Of course, with his background, everything that he knows about Secret Service and stuff like that, he'd seem like an obvious choice. But deputy director of the FBI, basically the person working right below Cash Patel. I mean, that's amazing. And then there's the two angles to this. Of course, there's the how much of an amazing asset Dan Bongino is going to be to the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and then there's also the other side that Dan Bongino is making a major sacrifice in order to take on this position of basically servitude to the American people. He's basically giving up a multi-million-dollar empire. He is the biggest conservative podcaster in the world. And I'll be, to be honest with you, I mean,
Like the largest live stream as well.
right. He's the guy, so yeah, he's really giving all of that up so that way he can go fix this organization. Definitely some admirable stuff, absolutely fucking, hats off to him. I can't think of a better guy for the job. Of course, I was always kind of hoping Dan Bongino was going to get some sort of position within the Trump administration. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's just amazing shit, man. Dan Bongino, dude, he's going to get in there and he's going to do some amazing things, man. Just I listen to the dude's show every day, every single day. And, even if I don't listen to other people's shows, I still listen to Bongino. So yeah, it's definitely going to be sad to watch him leave, man. But dude, like you love to see it, man. I could not think of a better person to be heading up such an endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not like we know him personally, right? But seems like a legitimately fucking good man, solid. Puts politics aside, to maintain professionalism. Like he said, he's been a lifelong conservative, but he served under, Democrat presidents with honor and distinction. And you got leftists like said melting down over it, like it's a radio show host. I mean, it's supposed to be a seasoned officer. I mean, this guy was NYPD. He was Secret Service, and he was Special Agent Secret Service for multiple presidential details. But it sucks that you're going to lose again, like you just said, the most massive voice for like our side, I guess, if you want to call it. Someone that speaks, logic, common sense, and is willing to forsake being first in to be right. Like takes his time, does his research, waits for the stories to roll out before he will even touch them. You know what I mean? And on a selfish level, like you just said, I've listened to this guy every day for fucking 10 years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like your day's not going to be the same now. But
Yep.
for him, dude, happy for him. I'm sure he's elated and can't wait to get there. He seems more excited, as the episodes get closer to the end. Good for him, dude, and good for us to have him in that position. But fuck, it sucks.
One thing that I did notice with the mainstream media and stuff like that is they've been saying several former FBI agents have been saying that they're not happy with this choice. Well, in that case, I'm really fucking happy with this choice. Like, you don't have to sell it to me anymore, MSNBC. Like, don't worry, I'm happy. Like, you don't have to tell me how much the swamp fucking hates this. Like, trust me, I know. And that's why it's such a great choice. But yeah, dude. Fucking awesome shit, man. Awesome shit. Dude, fucking Bongino, man. What else can I say?
Good to see it, like you said. I mean, the whole time I was hoping he was going to get a position, but I guess when it comes down to it, you're like, "Fuck, dude,
Right.
that sucks." Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Of course, it's bittersweet for him as well too, because he's one thing he's been talking about a lot is his time with the Secret Service. He was away from his family a lot, and it's seeming like that's about to be the case again. And of course, just like anybody, I mean, he's you don't want to be away from your kids. You don't want your kids to have to see you once every other month or something like that because you're working all the time. You're all the way across the country. So yeah, that's again, just hats off to him, man. He's making a amazing sacrifice for the country, for all of us. It just really shows the genuineness of Dan Bongino. And there's a reason that us and so many people watch him every single day. And it's gonna be hard to watch him go, but we know that it's for the betterment of all of us. It's a good thing. So, cheers to Dan Bongino, man. Fucking best ATF deputy director we're probably gonna ever see.
Yep, and even the company though now is gone. It's going to be Silverlock. I'm sure you heard, and
With
it's
an
not
H.
even. Yeah, it's not even going to be fucking the Bongino fucking LLC, man. That's pretty wild.
Yep.
Yeah, and as much as I love the show, the shit he's rolling out, to kind of keep the content coming, it's mediocre in comparison.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm
Yeah.
not really much on listening to chick podcasts, and that's what he's rolling out thus far. The rumors of who he may have. I don't know if he said anything today. I didn't hear the episode. I was putting in work, but the guest that takes over again, it's not going to compare. It's not going to be the same,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, it seems like he's trying to basically start like a Daily Wire type thing, But at the same time, there's just that dynamic of, it was the Dan Bongino show, which I guess could be a good thing that they're changing the entity name from the Dan Bongino show to the Silverlock, because of course then it's just going to become like it's the whole Dan Bongino brand and stuff like that is heavily associated with Dan Bongino's show. And I think basically whenever I think he knows that these other shows can't compare, can't compete with anything that he was doing. And so I think it's probably better on his end that he basically rebrands it, so that way people aren't looking for the Dan Bongino show. Basically, these are just some shows that I produce now.
Right, but like the ones still going to be the Bongino show early edition. You know what I mean? But so I mean, there's still that, like, but it's a chick.
I'm sure they'll probably end up switching that up eventually too. I mean, Evita's show's still pretty early, in its rise and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm sure they have plenty of time to change. It's I don't think that show is fully set in concrete yet. Of course, remember when it first started, the channel on Rumble that it comes out on used to just be the Bongino clip show, basically. That was basically just where all the the interviews or the fucking clips from the day and shit would show up on, and then basically just, oh well, here, do a show on this channel. So there's it. I think that's still plenty moldable. So I don't think it's probably going to be the Bongino early show for much longer.
That way he can come back in 4 years and boom, the damn Bongino show. Dude.
I'll be waiting, bro. I'll be waiting, man. I'll be fucking waiting.
Right, tell us all about it.
Yeah,
Right.
for real, dude. Like, fuck, dude. If he's gonna be coming back to podcasting or radio, which of course he's I'm sure if he's in his fucking 60s, fucking 80s and shit like that, people will still listen to him. So I mean, he could come back at any point. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be waiting for
Rush
that
Limbaugh
show.
and fucking Diane
Right.
there and stuff.
Right. Hey, fucking didn't Ron Paul fucking have a heart attack on here?
A fucking
Or
stroke, man.
He's a stroke,
Yeah,
bro.
remember his fucking face started sagging and shit.
Yeah.
He's still trying to talk and stuff. Like, still trying to fucking carry on, bro.
Yep.
And then he was back like 48 hours later, bam, making a show, bro. Like, god damn.
Hell yeah. I think Bongino could pull that off. Oh man, but yeah, dude. Fucking definitely good times. Fucking Dan Bongino taking over, man. Fucking draining the swamp. Congratulations, buddy.
The FBI.
Motherfucking right. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Fucking talk about the FBI. Motherfucking, you running that bitch now. Yeah. good shit, man. Excellent turn of events, man. That's definitely been lighting up my week because of course we got that news on Monday, man. That was right at the beginning of the week. That's what we started with. Fucking Bongino named FBI deputy director.
Right. I didn't even think that shit was real when I first saw it, man.
Right. Like, oh shit. Like, because of course, there was rumors going around before that, Donald Trump was going to name Bongino this or that or whatever. And then Bongino, of course, came out later. It's just rumors. I haven't heard anything about this, so
Mhm.
yeah. So, you thought it was, probably something like that again, but nope. It's legit, man. It's fucking legit. Good shit. Another good shit is fucking all the trannies are out of the military.
Oh, not get.
Right? Oh, get now. Yep. Fucking, so no
I
more.
mean, did people used to sign up for the fucking college fund? Now they sign up for surgery and shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's fucking insane, man. So I'm, glad we're not paying for that shit no more, dude. Like that was, maddening. Of course, all the bullshit that we spend fucking, taxes on is maddening. But just watching these fucking pieces of shit come out with their TikTok videos and military, uniforms and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not military or anything like that. So I'm not like, oh, they're disrespecting my, I don't care about any of that type of shit. But just you're disrespecting my fucking tax dollars that you're wearing on your fucking, on your face and your, implants and this and that type of shit. Like, that was probably one of the most maddening things. Just again, like I said, because these people are horrible people and they fucking come out and make TikTok videos and fucking rub it in your face and shit like that, dude. So yeah, get all of those people gone, dude. Of course, the left is gonna have their meltdown. They'll be weeping of gnashing of teeth, but fuck them. Fuck them. Get these people out of here, man. That's
You're homophobe, dude. Fucking
probably
no, man. You billions and billions of fucking tax dollars and debt builds up, to fund the military, and that you expect your
was
military to
failed
be
like the
one
past
thing,
decade
man.
of audits.
Right, and so you expect it to be one thing. It's fucking lethal. And I'm
Right,
sorry, man. I don't feel like our country's safe in the hands of a bunch of mentally ill, fucking weak wrist, pink hair. You know what I'm saying? Like can't get down.
right,
There's no way you could convince me. I mean, you've seen the videos, you know the stories, man. The biggest killers of trannies are trannies. Like, I
right,
mean, I mean, and the mental illness doesn't go away after the surgery. I mean, it stays about 40%. So I mean, it's a steady thing. I don't even know what to say other than fuck yeah, right? No more tax dollars on rainbow videos, but the downfall of that is when you start seeing like the new military recruitment video and it's, the big cat lifting weights and shit. Usually when you see those type of fucking videos, we're about to go to war, man. A
right.
big fucking white guy lifting on the video, we're off to kill people.
Somebody's gonna die somewhere.
Right.
Right. Um, so just as a bit of a side scroll over here, you guys. Fucking I participate in some church groups and shit like that. One of them, we do liturgy and we go to the bar and it's represented by a whole bunch of different churches from around the city here. And one of the people, actually two of the people that go to that one because it's a just like a men's thing, but they work for Raytheon. Like they've been working for Raytheon for some time. They know stuff about Raytheon, and so according to them, they told me that basically I was talking to him politics and shit like that, and about our arms that we're sending over to Ukraine and stuff. And I basically was like, so it's what we do is we send them our current stock and stuff like that, and then basically the money that's taken from the taxes and from the Federal Reserve and stuff like that goes to you guys, and then you guys basically replenish our stocks with the latest newest equipment and shit, right? And he basically said essentially, yeah, but the problem is that with how much military equipment and missiles and stuff that we've been sending over this past administration, we physically are not capable of restocking our stockpiles fast enough in order to actually replenish those. So basically, we're not well equipped right now. We don't have enough military armament. We don't have enough missiles, anything like that, to actually defend ourselves, because we basically sent everything over to Ukraine, and we either sent it to Ukraine or we fucking left it in Afghanistan, or what the fuck have you, during this last administration, that we physically can't make this stuff fast enough in order to actually replenish our supplies and our reserves. So pretty much we're a little bit of sitting ducks at the moment. Another thing that he was telling me about was they reviewed drone footage from the Ukraine, and one of the things that's been going on with some of these drone operators that some of them might be getting in trouble for at some point is they sign their videos. They sign their drone strikes, basically. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? They sign their drone strikes, and basically they watch all of these drone strikes. They watch all of the videos of all these drone strikes, and basically what these operators do is they'll do like up, down, left, right, and then boom, or something like that, or they'll like make it look in a weird direction to where they'll actually sign their name with the drone's camera. And of course, you don't actually notice it unless you're looking for it. But like, if you see those drone videos where they're like kind of like chasing down a vehicle or something like that, and you're like, the soldiers are trying to get away or something, and you see them doing like weird maneuvers and stuff, that's they're doing signatures. So basically, it's kind of like leaving their calling card on their kills and shit like that. So pretty crazy shit. pretty crazy fucking shit, man. But yeah, that's I guess that's a thing. So look for signatures on, if you guys ever watch any of these fucking crazy ass drone videos.
Yep, that's wild shit, man. Never heard that one.
Right.
The stockpile one, like I heard myself, old Alex Jones, dude. Like
right.
he's definitely touched on that, that we're totally depleted, and we're not set up like we used to be as far as weapon manufacturing. And we actually rely on China for a lot of the components for our weapons, which we borrow money from China to loan money or to send aid to China that we pay interest on, that we then turn around and fucking pay the rest of the money to China to produce the components for the weapons we need to defend ourselves from China. You know what I mean? Like it's
a vicious cycle, bro.
Right.
Exactly, man. But, yep, definitely some, war's a racket, man. I mean, war's totally a fucking racket, and they're getting rich off that shit, Yep, yeah, fucking, especially these defense contractors and shit. they're definitely not poor, let's put it that way. Yeah, crazy shit we're living through right now, man.
You got to fire it up, dude. The machine, like World War II action. You get fucking the Ford plants involved to start producing, man. Like, you got shit that's sitting idle. You got people getting laid off, shit like that. Fire it up, man.
Right.
That's how you get the machine going.
That's how it's gonna be, man. If anything ends up, taking place, if anything ends up, kicking off, and we got to get involved in shit like that, it's probably gonna be that way. Yeah. At least that's
obviously I don't want to get involved, but you want that ability to to rattle the old saber.
Yeah. Yep. Good thing fucking we're just a small inconsequential show that nobody listens to. Yeah. So, actually, apparently we were listened to by a lot of fucking pro Ukraine people, so they think that we work for Russia.
Right. Cashing big Putin checks, dude.
Right. Yep. Fucking but you guys better watch your backs, man. The lefties are out there planning shit. They're over there attacking Tesla dealerships. Apparently shots were fired at one of them. We're seeing a lot of lefties out there calling for violence, calling for we saw some fucking weirdo lefty that came out on TikTok and literally called for the murder of Elon Musk while simultaneously mentioning that she doesn't pay taxes and hasn't paid taxes in like 6 years. And
she says she has a file, but everyone pays taxes.
right. Yeah, she doesn't file. But yeah. Either way, definitely just some dumb shit. But we're seeing a lot of this stuff get investigated and actually be swept up, pretty quickly. That one being one of them. That person was actually arrested. So fucking hilarious. Get what you deserve, I guess. You literally asked for it, like
Right.
literally, and then you went viral, and the fucking police show up at your house. So yeah, I guess you got what you wanted. Fucking you're famous. But yeah, there's a lot of lefties out there calling for violence. Like we said, we knew that was going to happen. We knew that these people are unhinged, and they're not just going to like, what? Let's regroup, you guys. It's fucking rebrand. Let's get our message out better. Let's come up with a different tactic. They're not going to do that. They're just going to resort to violence because they're fucking Neanderthal, knuckle
Communist
draggers.
fucks, man. History
Communist knuckle
dictates.
draggers.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, everybody's just keep your head on a swivel, keep your magazines locked and loaded. Watch out for your neighbors. In both contexts of that saying, either watch out for your neighbors because they might be some fucking psycho blue-haired lefties, and they might be coming to burn your house down because this guy probably voted for Trump. Or watch your neighbors and watch out for your neighbors. Make sure that you guys know each other. Make sure you guys keeping an eye on who's coming around your guys' neighborhoods, because again, you don't know what's ever going to happen with domestic terrorism, especially places like here in Arizona. Especially we have things going on with the cartels across the border right now, as well as dipshit lefties and illegal immigrants here within the state. We got a lot of all of those. They're highly interwoven within our society. They could very well organize pretty quickly and do some terrorism type stuff. So everybody just keep your head on a swivel and fuck lefties.
Yep, fuck communists, man. They're not Democrats. They're the left, and leftism is a fucking mental disorder. You know what I mean? And like the joke I was just spouting. It's history dictates, right? That the left always fucking resorts to violence throughout every fucking example that you can pull up of government going left. Violence ensues. Whether it's current shit going on in Europe with like you said, free speech, people being dragged off, devices being confiscated and being laughed at by their elected officials. Or previous renditions, the communism, socialism, that they've brought about millions and millions of deaths, right? Well over 100 in a century, and that's what the left wants for you. That's what they always propout. And at first, it's always you're oppressing me's, and then it's well, we got to be equals, and then it's now you got to do what I say, and then it's oh well, you're not thinking how I want you to, so I'm going to kill you and your family.
All right. Yeah. It's really, it's one of those, just stop making me fucking stand up for cops, bro. Like, it's all that I ask, man. Just stop making me stand up for cops.
Absolutely. Like the people have gone so far off a cliff, they're making us seem, like we're fucking, Will Rogers out here. Some serious conservatives, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, conservatism sucks. Like fucking Mike Johnson. That's your conservative. Squishy little fella.
Right. Yep. Fucking spineless. Of course, those, people like that, they could get along just fine in the world, just not in positions where you're supposed to be, leading and, protecting your government against communists and psychopaths. Yeah. So, I mean, be an American. That's what I say. Don't be fucking conservative, or don't be this, don't be that. Just fucking be a goddamn American.
America.
Red-blooded, leather skin, fucking cowboy. Put your fucking hat on. What is it fucking? You ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh,
It's fucking going flying up, gonna little ass, gonna kick the ass in the USA. Rock a flag and eagle. Be that, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yep. All right, man. think we hit them all tonight. Anything else you
Nope.
want to throw in?
Nope, crashing down, dude. Like you just said, be vigilant. Watch these cats because even their, the elected congressmen and representatives are out here on the streets with no crowd screaming for violence, and the media is playing their part with constitutional crises, fascisms, and racisms. So, be warned.
Right. One thing that you do notice though on the leftist leadership side, the leftist, the heads, the AOCs and the fucking Chuck Schumers and all those people and shit like that, you never hear them call for no violence, right? You don't necessarily hear them out there like we need, I mean, sometimes you do. You definitely see your Maxine Waters and shit like fucking, if you see them at a gasoline station, you see all that type of stuff, but you never actually see any of them saying, all right, we're not going to go out there and, start attacking people. You never see them call for nonviolence,
Right. Yeah. And it's always the weakest among us too, dude. You know what I'm saying? The most effeminate dudes standing up there like it's gonna be a street fight. Hey,
Right.
okay, bud. And hey, Dabu, bro, we weren't fucking ignoring you, man. Thanks for coming, dude. Hit us on social media, dude. Don't let
Right.
it be your only outlet, doc.
Right, man. Shit, we're here for you every Friday night, 10 p.m. Arizona time.
Cactus showers.
Right. Fucking cactus time. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video, share it out with your friends. If you're not subscribed and you're new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that way you guys get notified once a week whenever we hop on. I might start doing videos again. I'm not sure. But, links to all of our social medias and other channels and stuff like that are in the description below. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, fuck off.